Hello everyone and welcome to another really awesome game from the Biel Chess Festival. It is Vaishali versus Alexander Donchenko. Yesterday Vaishali defeated Jonas Julbier and you guys requested her next game as well. As you said, it is even better than the previous one. So I checked it out and yes, it most certainly is even better than the previous one. So let's see what we're talking about here. Vaishali with white opens with pawn to e4. We have pawn to c6, the Caro-Kann defense, pawn to d4, we have pawn to d5 and pawn to e5. I myself prefer knight to c3, but e5 does have its merits with a bishop to f5, and now many moves are possible here. You could go knight to f3, you could go knight to c3, maybe h4, g4. The bayonet attack is also very popular. Vaishali just goes for pawn to c4. We have pawn to e6, knight to c3, and now knight to e7. There is a game where this c4 knight to c3 setup was used. Magnus Carlsen even played it against Vladimir Fedosov in 2021 World Cup, but in that game bishop to b4 was played. Here we have knight to e7, deviating from the Carlsen-Fedosov game, knight g to e2, and d captures on c4. Now the bishop is not defending, so d captures on c4, knight g3 going after the bishop, and not moving the bishop, but rather just b5, defending the pawn. And you might be expecting something like knight captures on f5, but no, not really. a4 has been played, bishop g5 has been played. Here we have bishop to e2, and it is now as of move 8 that we have a completely new game. And it's very interesting that the position that will still occur in this game has been seen before, only without the bishop on e2. I will mention that when we get to that, but it's as if Vaishali was granted an extra move. With bishop to g6 now not allowing the capture, pawn to a4 challenging the structure here, b4 attacking the knight, knight c to e4 going after the d6 square, and of course bishop captures on e4. And there is a game where all of this was played. However, this bishop back to g6 followed by captures was not played, and this bishop to e2 also was not on e2. Knight captures on e4, and now knight to f5 with bishop to e3, and now queen to h4. We have knight to g3 and knight captures on e3, eliminating the bishop, f captures, and the bishop to e7. So just ready to castle. White castles kingside, and now how do you continue here? Your c4 pawn is hanging, and it'd be really awesome if you could play pawn to c3. The problem is you can't, because if, let's say, c3 captures, and now you play queen b3, you go after the pawn, there's no way to defend it. And also, even if you could, queen to b7 would go after the rook, so you're going to lose a rook here. And even if you stop that with something like knight to d7, to prepare rook to b8, there's rook captures on f7, and now your entire position just falls apart. If you capture with the king, then queen captures on e6 with check, and after king captures, look at this, bishop to c4 checkmate. When was the last time you saw something like this? So many dangers lurk in this position. So knight to d7, not even thinking about saving that pawn. Bishop captures on c4, and now just castles kingside. We have pawn to a5 by Vaishali, and pawn to c5 by Alexander. And as I've shown in the thumbnail, this is the top move recommended by the engine, which makes Vaishali's next line even more impressive. Now, okay, the engine recommends a lot of stuff here, like rook to f4, attacks the queen goes to h6, then you move the rook to f3 to defend the pawn, guard against bishop g5. All in all, not a very human idea. But Vaishali goes for rook captures on f7, and the next move is crucial. What should Alexander play here? In the game, he played rook captures on f7, which just loses him the game. The move you have to play is king captures on f7. And after bishop captures on e6, of course, you decline the bishop, because if king captures, then queen b3 check. And again, a similar checkmate like we've just seen, only this time the queen delivers checkmate, not the bishop. So what you will have to do after bishop captures on e6 check is go to g6. And okay, now the game continues, something like bishop captures on d7, you win back material, you have this beautiful central control, but black should be able to fight, you know. It's not going to be easy, but black should be able to fight. However, after rook captures on f7, Alexander played rook captures on f7, and now comes bishop captures on e6. Okay, the rook will be further attacked, no doubt about that, but also the knight on d7 is hanging. So what can you play here? Okay, rook to f8, there is no good way to add a defender here. For example, you go knight to f8 or something, you can just capture, and after king captures, queen f3 check, picks up the rook on a8, so the position just falls apart. So instead, after bishop captures on e6, rook to f8, defending, and now Vaishali is completely winning, but she has to be very, very precise. And you know, the move you really think you should play is the move you should play, but she spent over half an hour on this position, and in the end she played queen to a4, which is still very nice, is just not as crushing. Now the move you should play here is just captures on f7. That's it. Captures on f7, and after rook captures e6, and as simple as that. Rook to f8, captures on d7, you've equalized the material, and also you have a passed pawn on d7. I mean, this is a completely winning position, like queen b3, queen can come to e6. There's no defending this. But she played this queen to a4 move, and now it's possible to at least defend a little bit if you precise correctly. But Donchenko was also very low on time. He invested some 10 minutes on his next move. The reason I don't have clock times on this video is that chess.com again messed something up with their interface. Now when I load up the PGN with the clock times, it's no longer showing on the analysis page. Probably they just thought, yeah, I mean, no reason to have that there. Who's even using that? But okay, bishop to g5 was played. The best here is knight captures on e5, just to get that knight out of harm's way, and also you defend on f7, so first the knight has to be captured, and now once you free up some room for the king, something like rook to f1, and it's still, you know, winning or either close to winning, or, you know, should be winning if a human is playing this. But it's still possible to maybe play. But after bishop to g5, it is no longer possible. Now, queen captures on d7, putting pressure on the rook on f7, bishop captures on e3 with check, king to h1, and queen captures on d4. And I could have made any of the positions so far a pause the video moment, but I wanted to make it this one. Feel free to pause the video and try to find the coolest winning move for Vaishali. There are actually two moves that are winning, but you know, we're not going to play the weird one. So have at it while I give you a couple of seconds. The move, the weird one I was talking about is queen captures on a7. But okay, I mean, we're not going to grab a pawn. The real move that Vaishali played is rook to d1. And okay, you're attacking the queen. You're saying if you trade queens, I'm just going to capture back, and we're going to put even more pressure on this f7 rook. Then I'm going to play something like knight e4, knight to d6, put a triple attack on the rook, and you're going to be down too much material. So that's the basic idea. And another brilliancy is that if queen captures on e5, well, rook to d1 defends exactly against that, because queen captures on f7, you sacrifice a queen, and you checkmated the black king. The rook is pinned. That's it. So after rook to d1, queen captures on d7 is the only move. This is what Alexander played. Rook captures on d7, and now there's no defense. Knight e4, knight to d6. There's no way to add more defenders to the rook, because you have a pin on a light square and you have a dark square bishop. It's as simple as that. c4 doesn't really matter. Bishop captures on c4, bishop to f4, and now pawn to e6. Or you give up the pawn and go something like this, and again pick up the rook. Everything is winning here. Pawn to e6, rook captures on d7, and now not the move you're expecting. E captures on d7 check, because that would actually be winning for black. The trick is pawn to e7 check. This is what Vaishali played, and he was in this position on move 27 that Alexander Donchenko resigned the game, as there is nothing more to be done here. If you move the king, then captures with checkmate, and if the rook blocks, you just promote the pawn to a queen or to a rook, and it's a checkmate as the rook is pinned along this diagonal. So another brilliant attacking game by Vaishali. Again, thank you guys for recommending such a wonderful game. We'll see what happens in the rest of the tournament. I haven't really figured out what's the format of this tournament, because it does appear to be a quadruple round robin. But maybe it's like two full circles of classical, then a rapid, then a blitz. I will check it out and keep you guys informed. But yeah, it seems to be everyone will face each other at least 4 times. So yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Very nice attack against the Caro-Kann with the advanced structure, pawn to e5 and c4. If you guys like it, maybe try it. Maybe you have good results with it. Like I said, I prefer the knight to c3 one. I've tried playing e5. It's just not my thing. So yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I would like to thank Kevin O'Grady, Rajashi Chowdhury, James Eugene Cashman, BulletChessThriller.com, and Peter I. Bielik for a contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing to check up on your wonderful suggestions and whatever else happens in the chess world. So thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.